Hi, and welcome to The Gist. Last week, in part one of the productivity paradox, we looked at two main ideas: how small productivity changes over time end up having a big impact, and also how focusing on the process of getting to an outcome is as or even more important than the outcome itself. This week, we look at how to stay focused and also balance immediate tasks with long term goals. Manage both focus and time. We tend to think of productivity in terms of time, but working ever faster doesn't necessarily lead to better outcomes. When we rush, the quality of our output can suffer, and we can be left feeling frazzled. What might be more important is managing focus. Our attention and clarity of mind are really what determine how well we work and whether we have produced something meaningful. Sometimes we keep working well past the point of useful focus, almost in a hypnotic haze. It's important to recognize this and take a break or switch to a new task. Our brains can benefit from variety throughout our day. Just like exercise doesn't have to be done in one long stretch to be beneficial, neither does work. In fact, some people are more likely to stick to things if they're broken up over the course of a day or a week. Trying to get everything done in one go can be psychologically daunting and lead to procrastination, the exact opposite of productivity. One well known way to manage both focus and time is called the Pomodoro method. As New York Times journalist Dean Kissick explains, this method was devised in the 1980s by Francesco Cirillo, a student at Rome's Luis Business School. He named it after the Pomodoro tomato shaped kitchen timer he used to break his day into small increments. The technique involves focusing on a task for exactly 25 minutes, no more, no less, and then taking a 5-minute break. After a few 25-minute rounds, you can allow yourself a longer break of up to 30 minutes. This harnesses the idea that more time isn't necessarily better. In fact, less time may improve focus and make us more productive. Balance short-term and long-term activities. The late Randy Pausch, a computer science professor and author of the book The Last Lecture, considered himself the limit case when it came to running out of time. When he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, he made the most of the time he did have. He wanted to complete his book of life lessons as a legacy for his children and prepare his family for the future before he was gone. But even in his graduate school days, he observed that the most productive doctoral candidates were those with the most commitments outside work, and they completed their PhDs faster. It seemed counterintuitive, but because they had other responsibilities to focus on, they were forced to get their work done quickly. He was also an advocate of Stephen Covey's 2x2 matrix to separate long-term projects from short-term tasks. He noted in his TED Talk on time management that most of us spend our time on urgent upcoming deadlines at the cost of longer-term projects that we need to chip away at over time. He argued that those who allocated a little bit of time each day or each week to longer-term projects were like Zen masters. They never seemed to feel rushed because they recognized that some things require a long time to complete and value getting started early. Our lives are busy no matter the stage we're in, and that requires us to be productive. Hopefully, some of these ideas will be helpful in reshaping how we view both our time and our attention, so that we can make room for all the things that should not be hurried, like time with loved ones, being in nature, or just letting our minds rest. On that note, wishing you a great week ahead, be well, and see you next time on The Gist.